Hello Africa, hello world. My name is Lina Bourge.
And my beautiful name is Dorcas Amole.
And this is a film shot back in 2009. This film is on FGM and child marriage, harmful practices, holding.
Remember, I was there and I was so shocked. I was like, wow, so this is what the whole process looks like, and some of the things that women get to miss when they go through the process. You know, you get to miss on some of the aspects of just being a woman.
Hello world, hello Africa. My name is Lina Bourge and today's episode is about to be interesting. We're going back to a conversation we had last time that was pegged in the most beautiful beings on the whole wide world, that is women. And I'm not alone, although my co-host is not around, I am still not alone. I've got Purity and I'm gonna give her a minute to introduce herself. Today, we're going to delve into FGM, but a different perspective of female genital mutilation. Before I go far, let me allow Purity to introduce herself. Hello, Purity.
Hello.
Oh, it's nice to have you. I'm meeting you for the first time.
It's my pleasure being here. Pleasure being here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I remember we had a conversation. Honestly, we didn't have a conversation, but I remember you watched our video.
Yes.
And you said, I have to be here. And I want us to have that conversation. But before we do, kindly take us through who is Purity?
First of all, I'm honored to be here in this amazing platform. I have watched most of your content and it's eye-opening.
Thank you.
And thank you for the good work you are doing, enlightening the community, ensuring there is sustainability.
Thank you.
So my name is Purity Mudhoni. My brand name is Purity Limitless. I am a digital journalist, doing videography, photography, graphic design, social media management, and I am also an SDG champion, especially SDG 4, that is education,
Yes.
and 5, gender equity.
Yes.
Is it equality or equity?
Equality, you can debate, it's a discourse, yes.
It's a discussion for
Another day.
Another day.
Yes.
I come from Meru County. I have to say that because our conversation today is going to involve talking about my county in depth, specifically Igembe South constituency. I don't know if there is anything else I've left out.
Absolutely not. I think that gives us a coverage of who Purity is. And welcome to this platform today as we get into this conversation. When you reached out, it was early in the morning on a Saturday morning, and I saw someone texting me and say, hey, I love this conversation. I want to be on this platform.
Yeah.
And I remember in our last video, we said FGM is not a one-size-fits-all.
Yeah.
It's different for different communities. And today we're going to be discussing about Meru County. Purity, I want us to start from that perspective of when Purity came to be. Purity gets into puberty, and Purity is now told, hey, you know what, girls in this community go through this thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, sure. So, I have grown up being a disciplined girl. In our family, there are some things you can't do. Okay, that is back then, because now I'm a grown up. I'm not restricted by anybody. So, I grew up in Meru County, and in class 6, I was 11 years old. I finished class 8 at 13 years. So in class 6, I was 11. And that's when we were being taught about reproductive systems and all that, being taught this is this part. And now there was a topic about HIV and AIDS. And we are being taught about how HIV can be contracted and all that. And then they mentioned using sterile objects. And ways in which these objects are used. One of the ways is female genital mutilation. That was the first time I heard about FGM. But it was unfortunate that the teachers didn't delve deep into this topic. It was just shallow. The teachings were just shallow. And with time, When we went for holidays, some girls came changed.
Yes.
Like they have new clothes, new shoes, they appear clean, like they are representing themselves in a certain way.
Okay.
That's when I had these ones were circumcised during the holiday, and now we have opened the schools. So it started way back when I was 11 in class 6.
Wow. So you're 11 years old, girls go home, they come back changed.
Yes, completely changed.
And you're curious. With this curiosity, where did you ask them? Did you find them and tell them, hey, I like your clean clothes and your new look. Where does this come from? Where does the curiosity start?
I didn't really ask them. I isolated myself from those clean girls because they were literally isolating themselves from us, the uncircumcised. Not everybody was circumcised in the class, let's say maybe 50%. Okay. So there was the uncircumcised. And this is where now we held these conversations. What is happening to that one? Then she went to her grandmother. Then she was circumcised. So I didn't have the courage to ask them directly.
Yeah. That brings me to a very interesting point because why do they know the need of isolating you? It makes me question, what were the teachings? What were they taught? What are they being imparted with during this period of let me call it secretion, if not, because they're being separated and they're having these conversations with probably their grandmothers. What is this that they know that they find the need to separate from you now that you're looking back?
So last year in 2024, I worked with an organization in Meru County, which was dealing with these FGM issues, training girls and all that. So we could call women from the village who had undergone the process. We could also call a nurse from the same community who was helping women deliver.
Okay.
And she saw how they struggled. So last year is when my eyes were opened on what was being taught.
All right.
Those isolation houses and all that. So after circumcision, and Meru County does the type 1.
Okay.
Type 1 type of circumcision.
Yes.
They were taught how to be women, how to treat men, and mark you, that's an 11-year-old. Being taught about sexual education and all that, an 11-year-old. And now they are told the uncircumcised girls are unclean. Because there are several maids which were taught to these girls.
Yes.
Before they accept being circumcised.
All right.
Okay, some of them are being forced while others are being fed these maids. And some of the maids are, you will be clean when you get circumcised. You will be marriageable when you get circumcised. Now you are introduced into womanhood when you get circumcised at 11. Like you're being introduced how to run a family as a woman
at 11.
So I think it's the notion of the uncircumcised being considered as unclean that made them isolators.
Yes.
They also felt like they had a degree or something. Because in that organization, we were telling girls that is not a certificate. You're not given a certificate after circumcision. So I think it's the notion of thinking they are higher than us, they have achieved something, they are clean than us. That's why they isolated us.
Yes.
And I think they were taught to keep it secret. So they could not relate with us.
They could not relate with us.
That's where the isolation started.
That's where the isolation started. I can imagine at 11 years old, you are probably friends with some of the girls who've undergone FGM.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they're like, purity is not our girl anymore. Please put her to the curb and to the side and just curb her. What was going through your mind at that time? What did you feel? How did it affect you and the other girls who were not caught at the time?
Let me say I was confused. Is this thing really good? Is it really bad? I was confused. It was a dilemma because there was silence even in schools. The teachers were not talking about it. So there is no one who was like telling us if this thing is good or bad. So I was confused.
So everyone
is it good or bad?
It is embedded in culture, so it is not seen as bad. Is that what you're saying? So no teacher is talking about it. No Meru person around you is telling you this is not it.
Yes.
That is really, really sad. You're confused, and I want to take it. I'll be bringing you back here and there because now you have perspective. Then you are a kid. How do you think you could have potentially fallen victim of FGM? Because I can imagine their words, their names you're tagged as an uncut girl.
Yes.
There are things you're called.
Yes.
There are circles you cannot access as an uncut woman.
Yes.
There where you can't sit with men or serve men or do. Can you take us through what your community's myths and misconceptions look like and how it affects? Then we get back to,
Okay. Actually, there is a name. They used to call uncircumcised girls Mukenye in Meru. So, were it not for my mother, who said that this is a foolish procedure and all that, I think I could have fallen victim. Because there was silence. No one was talking about it. And silence now means maybe it's approved. Because not in church, not in school, like literally nowhere it was being talked about. So I've forgotten the question.
the myths and misconceptions.
The myths and misconceptions.
Yes, because you've told us, you see, there are myths they are being fed that they find the need to isolate these girls. What do these myths look like? Because it's very unique to Merus.
Yeah.
It's very unique to Kisses. It's very unique to Somalis. It's very, very unique to these people. From my community, it is marriageability. That you're a good, clean girl. That you won't skip from one man to the other. You are a nice, wonderful, wifeable woman. You will sit still.
So I think actually the story behind FGM, if I'm not wrong, is for like controlling the female's sexuality or something of the sort. I heard, I don't know if it's Mama or something, when they were fighting, some men started these things so that the sexual desire of the women was like lowered, and they could not jump from one man to the other when their men were
away in war.
In war. So in Meru County, one of the reasons is cutting the female desire, lowering literally. They will not run from one man to another. The other made marriageability, as you said, even as per your community. They say the circumcised girls know to handle men, they know how to take care of men, they know how to take care of their homes. But when you come to think of it, literally, womanhood is not defined by circumcision. It's education, it's exposure, and all that. So, lowering the female sexual desire and marriageability.
Those are the two
main myths. And also, there are some families you cannot get married to if you're not circumcised. Because maybe that's the line that family has decided to take. Like you cannot greet the father-in-law and all that.
You cannot
as an
serve
unclean
him,
woman, you cannot serve him,
And you do not bring honor to your husband if you get married.
Imagine. And now it's weird that even some grown-up women are forced to, during marriage, that if you are not circumcised as a kid, you have to be circumcised
as
to be married
woman.
in this family. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I keep telling you that in a world like this, the girl child is going through numerous things. The hurdles are quite crazy. The hurdles are unimaginable. And for you to be a woman out there and say, I am not bound by A, B, C, and D, and I am beyond this, is strength that we need to recognize and to clap for. And she has given us context of what it looks like, how it started, how our curiosity began, how she began to notice the separation. Then we question what are other people from the previous generations telling young girls in this generation. And thank you for that context. Right now, I'm not going to lie to you. Where you sit, you are a potential victim.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I want to take you back there. Because when I create a program for a child who is 11, what do I need to prepare? What do I need to tell her? What is the psychological torture that you went through when your friends cut you off? Right? I want to get into the mind of someone who might be in that situation and does not know where to turn to. Right now we're talking about it, but you're saying, but because of culture and community and the way they're centered to think that this is important, they're not voicing it. I want to know and go step by step. When you look back at the 11-year-old you, were you at a point where you were almost saying, I want to be cut? Did you ever get to that point? Because I want to be part of the clique.
I felt some pressure. Yes, I felt some pressure. But since my mother was against this thing, the pressure didn't overweigh me. And I also started saying this is a stupid thing.
All right.
You know?
Yes.
But the isolation was bad. You know, sometimes I could go to church, literally. I walk to church alone because all my village mates are circumcised.
Yes, I want us to give us a picture of that isolation. How did it look like?
I walked to church alone, man. It was bitter. And then I have to rush back home myself because, you know, I cannot remain in those circumcised groups. You know, even if I had some talents, I didn't have a group of friends to develop the talents with. You know, like in church we sing, we do plays and all that. But I had to abandon all that.
And you became an introvert.
I became an introvert, actually. And stay home, I had to adapt to the lifestyle. Most of the times I was like at home, actually.
That is so sad. That is so, so sad. And this is a belief that is being carried forward to more generations. It's still happening right now.
It's still happening, especially in the interiors. There are those interior parts, you know, counties, you know, the hotspots, Samburu, Kisii, and all that. I still believe it's happening in the interior, the villages.
Okay.
And there are no people who are talking about it, you know, because you expect elders, you know, you expect the church leaders, you expect teachers of all the people to talk about this thing.
But they're not.
But unfortunately, they are not talking about it.
Okay.
You know, and a 11-year-old, especially who is not in a farm family, they are most likely to do it. They are most likely to run away and do it.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
I just thank God I was not easily swayed. Because if I was easily swayed, and I know my friend is undergoing it next week, I'll just run there, we do it. Because I've had some girls do it.
Yeah.
They go, they run and they enter in the house and they get circumcised. But they don't know what they're getting into literally. They don't know.
You know, you mentioned something very interesting and you've kept on mentioning mom.
Yeah.
And this is the point I'm trying to make, that when you have a strong, grounded family, like you said, so we have to start by recognizing and telling moms that this practice is not well. Because where I come from, people like your grandmother, people like your mother are most likely to tell you to go through the cut.
Yes.
Right? Especially grandmothers, let me talk to you.
And aunties.
And aunties, they are most likely to tell you need to go through the cut because of honor.
Yeah.
Right? So for you to say that your mother stood
among
many women, saying that my daughter is not going to go through this thing.
Yeah.
I'd want to know what her thought process was when you look at it keenly, when you try to, Mom, you knew something I did not know. You know.
You know, those are the people of the 1950s. I think during her time, she saw women go through that. She saw the torture. Because I believe in the 1950s, okay, even if it's being done now, we cannot compare it to the 1950s.
True, it was quite brutal.
The objects being used, the environment it's being conducted. I think we cannot compare it to back then, you know. Back then, maybe someone could bleed and die.
True.
Because it's being done at home.
Like I said, guys, Jelida, a Meru girl, did die. Jelida died in 2019, and I've told you that story has been highlighted so many times, and we will continue highlighting it. Jelida died. FGM killed Jelida, for sure.
Yeah. So, someone could literally bleed and die then, And the people who are doing it, I mean, they are not medical practitioners. They are just old shoshos without even eyes. Should I say without eyes, or the eyesight being very poor? Yes. So I believe she saw the torture, the effects during childbirth, and all that. Yes. And she said her daughters will not go through this. And I just thank her years later because
you're happy she did
I
that.
am happy.
And she calls it a stupid.
I'm happy. A foolish practice.
A foolish practice.
She's a woman of 1950s.
A foolish practice.
Yes.
Guys, that's what comes with education. That's what comes with exposure. That's what comes with knowing better. That's what comes with standing tall to defend fellow women.
Yeah.
Her daughters are not at any point fallen victim of the societal standards, fallen victim of the societal needs for women, because she stood tall and said, this is not going to happen. And I'm very worried and scared. And this is the point where we have a conversation about what are the myths in your community that have made you, one, go through FGM or see women go through FGM. If we are imparting knowledge of womanhood and how to be a woman and how to take care of a home to an 11-year-old, this, you can see how it can work as a precursor to child marriage in some communities. Because after that, what are you expected to do? You're a woman. You are considered a woman. You're no longer a child. And we have to be quite vocal about these issues, just like Purity is. Purity has come out and she's saying that, guys, it is not a practice that is over. It's still happening. Last year, we had 10 girls from Meru reported to undergo FGM. This is the kind of situation we're dealing with. And unless we are quite vocal, and unless we become Mama Purity in our communities, most of our girls will go through it. In our very own families, girls are still undergoing the cart, and unless we're loud about it, this thing will continue. I am very keen on what she's saying, the mind of a potential victim. She's isolated. She's called names. She's told to... Mokenya, you said?
Yes, Mokenya.
Mokenya. Yes. In my community, we also have a name for uncircumcised girls, which is very, very sad, to be honest, to isolate me just because of my choice and rather not choice. FGM is a human violation through and through. Yeah. So we can't continue with this practice. Now that you're looking back, what are some of the lessons you have picked about girls? The things girls are being subjected to, and how are you working towards preventing some of the things like FGM? How are we calling our leaders to account, right? Because you've said teachers are not talking about it, people are not talking about it. Are you attributing that to ignorance or just fear? What is it exactly?
So, I believe right now they have started talking about it, even if not fully. Because back then, maybe their daughters had to undergo it. So how do I talk? How do I speak against something I'm supposed to do to my own daughter? But I believe nowadays, because as I said last year, I worked with an organization which was dealing with that, and we could go to schools, we could plan these programs. So the teachers were the ones to give us the girls aged between 11 to 14. We call them somewhere, we speak to them, and we emphasize on education, girls' education. First of all, there needs to be champions like me. People to speak about it. It can be survivors, it can be people who already underwent the process, because I believe there are some, like my age mates, who underwent it, and now is when they are realizing its effects. They can talk about it. And then there are community-based organizations, there are NGOs, there are church programs, the camps and all that. They can call these girls, they can track progress, because you can still speak to them, and then there are those hard-headed community members who after the program, when the kid goes back, they just discourage. What were you being taught? That is nothing. You are still not a woman. So we need to track progress after these programs.
Yes.
The government also to build or create these safe spaces, like I don't know how we call these centers where girls can run.
Or safe camps.
Yes, Thank you. Safe camps and all that. The government can also work on the hotspot areas, because I believe there are some hotspot counties which this practice is highly prevalent. You know, they can fund girls' education more in those counties. And then I believe this is going to encourage and all that, because poverty is also
a key driving factor.
Yes.
And I'm very curious, because we've talked about marriageability, I just died it. We spoke about marriageability. Do you think men have a role to play in this conversation?
Actually, I forgot to mention about men. Yes. Because this thing was done actually for men. It was done in favor of men. So it's upon men, for old men to stand and say they don't want circumcised girls. It's upon teachers to teach these young girls, young boys, about respecting girls, uncircumcised girls. Because back then, they could also call us those names, the uncircumcised girls. So we can start by educating these young boys to respect girls, you know. They can also be taught about standing against FGM. That is not important, that the world has shifted and they have to shift with it. They have to transition with it. It's upon men now, grown-up men, to fight it. Actually, if they decide to fight it fully, the politicians, the leaders everywhere, the teachers, the male teachers, the community, men, elders, this thing can literally die. If they decide, if they want, it can die. Because it's literally being done for them, especially in my county. Okay. It's done for them. It's done to please men.
It's done to please.
To be sincere. If they want, they can stop it.
If they want it, they can stop it.
Yeah.
So elders need to speak up. Young men need to be comfortable with marrying women who are uncut.
Yes.
Young boys need to be taught respect.
Yes.
I'm very keen on the elders conversation, because you've said, I went somewhere and they said, I can be okay with marrying a girl who's not cut. What? But when ninaenda kwa wazee tell me, hey, you know what, in our lineage we can't do that. So I love the way you've broken it down. Elders as owners, or rather the controllers of, not controllers, that's a very crazy word. Elders as gatekeepers of culture need to be okay with it. Sons need to be fine with marrying girls who are uncut, and the boys need to be taught respect. I really, really like that, and I think that is very, very powerful. What is the role of women in this conversation? I know most of us are on this other side of victimhood, but there are mothers who are literally propagating this thing.
Yes.
There are grandmothers who are propagating this. What is their role?
So actually, last year one of the women said, because when they are cut, actually, the effects, the physical, psychological, emotional, and all that.
Yes. Guys, you can find that on our first video we talked about.
Yes. So when it comes to the physical effects, when they are cut, I believe it affects their urinary tract system. Some of them, they get affected. So this woman said, the pain she underwent and the pain she undergoes during urination, her daughter has to undergo the same. That's her mother saying so. That's sad. It's like it was traumatic to her. So she is a bitter mother, and maybe a monster mother, if I may call it, that her daughter has to undergo that, the pain and all that. It's so sad finding so sad. A mother wishing her daughter for that.
Yeah. So meaning we have to also create programs for these mothers.
For women.
Psychological and healing. Yes. Because some of them literally propagate this because they need. I have gone through it. I still gave birth to my kids. What's the problem? It's still fine. So we have to think about mothers and their psychological healing in terms of.
And some of them actually don't know the effect of this thing.
Yeah.
Some of them are...
they think being a woman, the pain is just being a woman.
like they literally don't know there is no advantage of this thing. They don't know. Actually, some of them don't know. Some of them are innocent.
Yeah.
They need to be taught the disadvantages of this thing. Because maybe they are used to pain, the pain maybe of childbirth, the pain when they are intimate with their partners, and they believe now it's part of being a woman.
Yeah.
So I believe they can also be taught, the groups and all that, and then now they will know.
Yeah.
Because you can get used to pain till you think it's
a way of life. It's the way of life. And that is what women have been, especially in Africa, we've gone through that kind of pain, that it's part and parcel of us. So when we try to break free, it makes people quite uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But it's a call to break free.
Yeah.
It's a call to tell girls that, hey, break free, women, break free, men, stand with women. You're our allies. You're our greatest allies in this conversation. I mean, Purity, this has been beautiful. What is your last message to young girls? To women like your mom, to men? Because now it's a collaborative initiative at this point.
Yeah.
Men have to work together with women. Boys and girls have to work together. What is your call to these people?
My call to action. Is it call to action?
Yes.
Especially to young girls. FGM is the worst thing that can be done to you.
And remind them it still happens, Aki.
It's still happening. It's still happening. As a young girl, people will force you, you'll feel the pressure. But it comes to the effect, the real effect, the bitter effect. You come to feel it when you're grown, when you have understood yourself, So it's the worst thing which you can accept someone to do to you. To the women, please, our mothers, you can stand strong, you can fight for your daughters. I mean, why look at your daughters go through a very severe and painful procedure when you're watching? And you know the effects, So please, our mothers, fight for your daughters. Fight for the coming generations. And to men, you can stop this thing. You can halt it. You can stop it if you want. Because it's a procedure being done to you to please you. But it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. So you have to stand firm. You have to stop this thing, and you have to teach the young boys as men that this is not a good practice. To the government, be keen on the hotspot areas because it's still happening. It's still being done in secret because nowadays it's being done in secret actually.
That's true.
So, kuna hawa baba wa nyumba kumi. There are those people who are put in villages. Be super active, identify these secretive practices. And that is how we are going to grow. Because womanhood is not FGM. It's education. It's education. Education for women and girls.
Education for women and girls. Where can we find Purity, to follow Purity, to interact with Purity and her work? Where can we find you?
My socials, Purity Limitless. I call myself Limitless because at this point now nothing can limit me. On YouTube,
Yes.
on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Purity Limitless. And then on LinkedIn, Purity Mutoi. You can connect there. I do inspiration.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was really, really lovely to have you, Purity. We've gotten a gist into the life of what some of these girls who are uncut go through, how we can always and find ways to manage what they're feeling, the isolation. We don't want extroverts to turn into introverts. Well, they were not introverts from the word go. So we need to maintain a certain level of connection with young girls. Thank you so much for reaching out, for making sure you're on this platform. It means a lot to us that we are reaching to people like you and more. Like we said, guys, FGM is not a one size fits all. If you're still out there and you still find the need to talk about it, as a champion like Purity, as a doctor, because I'm hoping to have a few doctors explain to us what that does. So get in touch, let's get connected, let's keep the conversation going. Power in Her Voice, part 2, right here with Purity, and I hope you guys have learned something. I hope the media is catching on to this conversation, because it is our duty to lobby for better. It is our duty to push for more. We're going to be going to Meru one time in Purity, go visit her home. Tufike tuone ni wasichana wangapi hapa tunaweza ongelesha in different schools and see what impact we can make in your community directly with you as the champion. Thank you so much for making time. I'm very, very honored. My co-host was not around, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be giving her the message, and she's going to be around next time. Dorcas Omole will be with us next time as we continue this conversation. Keep it locked right here on Friends from Africa for Africa podcast. This is what a friend from Africa for Africa does. They speak up, they stand tall to be counted in this journey. Thank you.